Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be taking a look at this watch. This is the Seiko 5 SNZJ29J1. This watch really impresses me with what it offers. For starters, this PVD black bead blasted finish really puts it out of its class and makes it really nice and military inspired while keeping it very nice and formal, fit for any occasions. The other thing would be the movement, the 7S36 Seiko movement, which is really just such a basic but workhorse movement and really precise and reliable for everyday use. So, what other things really impresses me for this sub $250 price range? Let's dive right in. So here is the Seiko SNZJ29J1. This watch actually features the venerable Seiko 7S36 movement, which is very similar to the 7S26 discussed in my previous videos. So it is an automatic movement in this watch and it's part of the Seiko 5 Sports lineup. Okay, so let's get on to the specifics of this watch right now, shall we? So this watch actually comes in at a diameter of 43mm, thickness, a case thickness of 13mm, a lug width of 21mm, and a crystal, which is Seiko's own proprietary mineral crystal, Hardlex mineral glass. It also has a nice exhibition case back, as you can see right here. And comes with a nice metal bracelet. So the thing that must have caught everybody's eyes right now would be the nice PVD black design of this watch. This watch, the SNZJ29 in specific, comes in this PVD black colorway. But there are also another version of this watch which comes in silver, normal non-PVD, normal stainless steel with different dial designs such as brown, black, and even the stainless steel watches would also have a black PVD black bezel as well. There's about 3 or 4 variants of this watch actually. So this watch actually is special because of its nice PVD black colorway. So now the next thing that we can talk about would be the nice dial. This watch actually has this very nice vibrant lacquered dial. So you can see vibrant black lacquered dial. Plays very nicely with the light, very shiny, very nice to look at, very pleasing. And it also features these applied indices, as you can see, applied stainless steel indices, polished, very nice and polished, and also has these very basic fence post hands, which is very easy to tell the time with. It also has this nice applied calendar window in stainless steel as well, and a very basic second hand. It also features a double baton for the 12-hour marker in this watch. Okay, so let's move on to the case design. So the case is actually nice and sculpted to everybody's wrist, as you can see. It's very nice. Even when you wear it, it's very comfortable and doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. So the watch comes in polished sides right here. Oh, and a 3 o'clock crown, which is very peculiar to Seiko 5 models, but this watch features that, and brushed lugs right here, as you can see. It's brushed right here and polished on the sides. This watch also has a very beautiful bezel, which is one of its standout striking features. This watch mimics the Rolex's machine-turned bezel, actually, which comes with serrated and alternating polished parts in the bezel, which is very nice and gives it an understated but professional look to wear for formal settings. This watch also has nice Lumibrite Seiko lume with lume pips on each hour marker and a double lume pip on the 12 hours and applied to the hour and minutes hand as well. So here is a lume shot. Alright, yep. So as you can see, the lume is really very nice in this watch. The best part of this watch is that the color for the calendar wheel is matched to the black And for this price point, that's very nice and heartwarming to see, because it really looks very nice and refined for this watch. So let's move on to the movement, shall we? This watch features the Seiko 7S36 movement. The 36 refers to the 3 o'clock crown as compared to the 26, which features the 4 o'clock position crown. So this watch actually is slightly different from your daily run-of-the-mill Seiko 5 in that it features a crown in the 3 o'clock position. This watch also, since it comes from the Seiko 5 sports lineup, features a 100-meter water resistance, which is very nice to see in this watch and makes it very practical for many use cases, and it can even be brought for swimming and sports activities that involve water. Another feature of this watch would be the nice bezel. This watch has a unidirectional 120 click bezel on this machine turned bezel itself, which is very nice and satisfying to use, and almost as good as the Seiko Prospects lineup. So that's this watch, and okay, let's move on to the bracelet, shall we? This watch comes with a nice stainless steel PVD black color matched bracelet, but doesn't feature PVD on the clasp, which is a bit odd to see. Lacks a bit of finishing touches, I feel, and it's an overall okay bracelet, which is passable for your daily use since it's not folded links, it's a push pin links, but the push pins I felt were a bit loose and lacks a bit of solidity to it. And the pressed upper on this watch actually doesn't come with the lock over clasp as in most of these Seiko watches bracelets, and hence due to the size of this clasp cover, it actually only has 2 micro adjustments here, which may not be sufficient for most people. And the other thing that kind of lacks refinement would be the case back, which is not color matched to the PVD black of this nice watch. So yeah, so that will be it, and let's move on to the pros and cons of this watch. Okay, so let's take a look at the pros and cons of this watch now, shall we? Okay, so let's start with the pros actually. This watch actually is built very well for its price point and feels very solid in the hands. It feels very nice. And the PVD black, especially that's applied on the case, is of a very good quality, does not easily wear out, and looks very nice. Especially the brushing, as you can see, is very nicely done, especially for this price point of this watch. And the bezel, there's nothing that can be said about this. It's really truly beautiful how this machine turn design bezel looks on this watch. Really uplifts and elevates the look of this watch and gives it a formal professional vibe with an understated look due to its origins. It's what it's intended to look like. The proportions of this watch is also very nice for most people, which is about 42 to 43 millimeters, and the lug to lug is also not too large. Makes it look very nice on most people's wrists. Okay, so the bracelet as well is very nice and serviceable for day-to-day tasks. Very nice. May lack some micro adjustments here, and pressed upper and fold over clasp may not really gives you the most in terms of build quality or really solidity, but it's definitely good enough. And the Hardlex crystal, even though it doesn't really stand out apart from its competition, doesn't feature sapphire crystal, this Hardlex crystal is really still very good for the price point. And even if you wish to, for a couple of tens of dollars, 40 to 50, you can swap out for a sapphire crystal over the course of your ownership if you wish to. Okay, let's move on to the cons, shall we? So the cons of the watch would be actually, let's start with the matching of color and brush here. So the brushing on this watch actually isn't matched with the case brushing for the bracelet. So the bracelet, as you can see, features a bit of a darker tone and slightly different in terms of brushing as compared to the lugs, as you can see on the watch. Slightly different if you look closely enough. Isn't really very noticeable, but you can see some finishing touches which were not done properly, but that's mainly because Seiko uses the same bracelet for many other of its models, and hence it may not be able to completely closely match the brushing on this model. The other problem with this watch would be some quality control issues, but mostly it's not really evident in use case. Like the push pins, which I felt were a bit loose and not tight enough when I was changing out the bracelet, but doesn't really affect day to day. And the things that I mentioned previously was this case back, which is in not color matched, still in stainless steel, not PVD, and this clasp as well, which is not black. So, but these are not noticeable when you wear the watch, as you can see. These kind of get hidden under your wrists, and doesn't really affect day to day. It still looks very nice. Can't really notice it, apart from slightly over here, as you can see. Looks, yeah. So that will be it for this watch. In short, this Seiko 5 SNZJ29J1 really impresses in terms of its versatility, practicality, and everyday use case. Even though it may lack some modern features like hacking or hand winding, as in the case of other Seiko 5 models of the era, it really more than makes up for it by punching above its weight with its water resistance, the nice PVD black finish, as well as the reliability of this workhorse movement. And the overall package from Seiko really delivers. So this watch is such a good buy for those looking for a really nice automatic watch under the sub $250 price range, which can be had for much lesser if you look around for old stock. So that'll be all. Thanks for watching.